What's up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Reviews, where we talk about all things reality. So sit back and let's go! Hello. Hey, everyone. How y'all doing tonight? Hey, so come on in, y'all. I got a chip on my shoulder tonight. Really do. And let me put my banner up. Hold on, y'all. Everything I'm about to say in this video is alleged and in my opinion. And I'm not sharing any videos or anything tonight, maybe a picture or two, but this whole video is dedicated to Carlos King. So y'all can tag him, you can share it to him, send it to him. I don't care. But this one is for you, Carlos King. This one is for you. Shout out to Michelle from Straight from the A. I borrowed one of your pictures. So I just want to send a shout out to you. But this is how I'm feeling right now. Fire Carlos. We know OWN won't, but it is my prayer. Y'all see that beautiful lady sitting on that stool? Carlos is trying to do everything in his power to break that beautiful lady on that stool because she left a husband that cheated on her and had a baby on her. Carlos, who hurt you, boo? Who hurt you? I want to speak to your soul right now. Who hurt you as a child, as a young adult, as a man? Who hurt you? Did she look like Melody? Huh? Does the quality in Melody remind you of your mother? Huh? Because, sir, everything you've been doing for the last 7 seasons is punish a mother of 4 for leaving a husband who cheated on her and got a baby on her. Why? We, the viewers, would like to know why. Now, I don't talk about people's mothers. So, Carlos, this is no way a dig to your mother. It's just questions that I have that I really would like for you to answer. Like, what type of mother did you have? What type of grandmother did you have? Do you have any aunties? Do you have any siblings? A sister, perhaps? A cousin, perhaps? Carlos, I'm asking you these questions because look here, sir. I know me as a woman who you kind of, never mind, let's keep going. I know if my sister, a man, married my sister, and my sister is out here busting her butt, and she caught him cheating several times and gave him chance after chance after chance. Sir, my advice to my sister would be leave him. Leave him. He's never going to change. The more you take him back, the more you're teaching him how to treat you and disrespect you, as well as his daughters. So, sir, my advice to her would be get your stuff and get on going and give him to her. That would be my advice to my sister. My advice to my friend would be, hey, girl, go to your pastor. Talk to your pastor and see what your pastor say. Because even the Bible, Carlos, which you claim to quote every Sunday, even the Bible says, and I'm going to try to find it real quick, but even the Bible said that is a divorceable offense when a man or a woman cheats. That is one of the 10 commandments. Do not commit adultery. So you want Melody to stay with a man who has broke one of the golden rules in the Bible for the sake of a show? Huh? Carlos, that's not right. It clearly states in the 7th commandment, you shall not commit adultery. Adultery violates the commitment made in a marriage to be faithful to one's partner. It encompasses both physical and emotional sin, driven by uncontrolled passion and lust. So you want her to go against God and be with a man who has committed adultery. Not only that, he in tail made a bastard child. Huh? And you want her to stay? You want her to stay, Carlos? For the sake of your show? Word of the day from the Lord, not my God, honey. I don't know what God y'all. Yeah, okay. So since we talking about staying, adultery, and all that, Carlos, look up Deuteronomy 23:2. Open your Bible and actually read what thus said the Lord. Let me help you with that scripture. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Now I'm telling you what the Bible says. I'm telling you what God says. Huh? Come on now. And you want her to stay with a man who fathered one? Is that what you're saying? Clearly, that's not what you're saying. And then you're punishing her because she won't stay. Season after season after season, you have allowed the cast to come against Melody since she left Martell. You keep bringing on different ones. You're using the new ones. Carlos, I don't know if boycotting the show or stop watching the show is good or bad. I cannot say because I don't want to take any money out. I mean, yeah, any money out of Melody's pocket for her babies. But Carlos, you spinning the narrative of that text message that Martell sent to Melody, trying to make it seem like it was just a text, is what everybody keeps saying. It's just a text message. Because here, in my opinion, is what I think you're doing. Y'all been trying to expose Melody with this this PORN video. You've been trying to low key throw it in there for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Reunions, I'm gonna say 2. Y'all have been discussing it and talking about it, and it didn't hurt her. It made her fans stand up stronger behind her. Because the general public didn't know the backstory to it because the backstory played out on YouTube. So now you want to embarrass her nationally, maybe even globally, depending on who and what countries watch this show. And you're gonna, in my opinion, I really believe you're setting the stage. It was just a text message. Then somebody gonna say, "Oh, it was DV by communication." Well, what did he send? And then you're gonna discuss that. And when you're discussing it, you're gonna go into detail how she was giving her husband fellatio, which is something a lot of women do when they're married to their husband. To put a something out there bad, make it seem like, whatever. I don't know what you're trying to make it seem like, but a lot of women do it, including you. So I don't understand. Why are you trying to embarrass her when even you do it? Huh? And maybe he do too. Her ex-husband. Who knows? Allegedly. But for you to keep coming after her season after season, keep bringing people on, claiming to be her friend, only to negotiate in their contract or talk to them and persuade them to say this, that, and a third to stay on this funky show is beyond pathetic. And the so-called friends of hers who are going with the narrative and stabbing her in the back, shame on you. Shame on you. And I curse your family. I pray that what hole you're digging for her, your daughters fall in it. Now stand on that. Because baby, you can't dig a hole for her and not get consequences. While you trying to step over that hole you dug for her, your kids not watching, they gonna step and fall in it. Stop playing with Melody. I need you to stop playing with her. You can expose everybody on this show, but you can't expose the ones that ain't doing nothing. The ones who are scamming and allegedly and racking up debt and not paying allegedly. Go in and out of Madison County courthouse allegedly, like it's the doggone club. You know, we don't see none of that. We get a graze over it, but we don't get to go into detail. You could get the same documents that all these other content creators are getting and show that on the show. That's the storyline. Why they don't pay their bills and you paying them. Huh, Carlos? That's a storyline. Let me help you out with storylines. Let's start with Stormy Steele and her husband, Courtney Beasley, which I don't understand. If they're married, why are they using different names? But okay, that's another video. But anywho, even on court documents, when you're married, I don't care what name you want to be known as, you have to go by the name that's on your ID. So why are they not using the same name? But anyway, let's go on. Let's go on. So let me give you a storyline for Stormy. Since you're coming after Melody, try asking Stormy, hey, for your storyline this season, there are a lot of entrepreneurs out here that get started in business and they mishandle their money and they make bad decisions. Stormy, why don't you share your real story and show these people how you made the bad decision and how you learned from it and then created a better avenue for your business instead of keep being a repeat offender, and show these people how to do it that way. Go back and pay your creditors, these people who have extended you credit on good faith, and you walked out on them and not paid them when they were trying to help you to feed your family. These people got families too. They may be rich, they may have enough money to loan you, but they got families too. And you walked out on them and not paid your debt. Talk about that storyline. Talk about how you and your husband are raising your son to be a great businessman, teaching him the morals of maintaining a good, credible name in the business. Talk about how you're teaching your son that when he grow up, he don't have to be laughed at and say, yeah, his parents were bad business people. They stayed in Madison County Court fighting lawsuits. That's a great storyline, Carlos, for Stormy Steele and Courtney Beasley. Moving right along. Let's go to Kimmy and Maury Scott. Let's talk about them, because who child, I'm gonna struggle on that because they irrelevant. I don't understand why they are even still on the show. But anywho, let me give you a storyline for them. How about Kimmy talk about how she is a mother to a grown man? How about that? How about we talk about Kimmy finding her own voice and going back to nursing or whatever she needs to go back to generate income and make her husband do the same. We haven't seen them build nothing. We ain't credit one, Lord Jesus. How about Maurice bring a client on, an actual client, to talk about how he helped them to repair their credit? How about Maurice bring an actual client on who he beat a case for, won a case for as an attorney? Huh? Give us real storylines, Carlos. He don't have to be in the courthouse to talk to them. There is a such thing as a consultation. So how about they come to his office and talk to him about doing a case for them, and then showing court documents where he either won or lost. You can white out their names. That's a good storyline. That's the best I could do for him. Let's move along. Let's go to Marceau and Letitia Scott. Let's let's get them a storyline instead of them putting this fake one out that he's cheating. Or is it fake? Or was that a way for y'all to keep people from talking about it because you never mind, let's carry on. But anyway, Letitia, you are a realtor, not a reality. Let's see you sell some houses, build some houses, close a contract for a house, interview somebody for a contract to sell their house. Let's see you do that. We're tired of seeing you meet up at your friend's house. I'm glad this season we actually get to see you in your own house. Praise God, we've talked about it long enough. So let's see you, you know, your office. It should be finished by now. Bring some clients in. What you could blur their face out if y'all don't want to pay them. Do something. Marceau, you said y'all building these hotels and houses and all of that. Let us see you in action with a hammer in hand, putting nails in walls, not just walking around asking boss man questions because you on a site. Anybody can do that. I could put on a hard hat and walk onto a site and tell them, say, hey, I want to ask you some questions about this, that, and the third, because I'm interested in going into business and have just a little bit of knowledge to ask them some questions about it and make it look like I'm on the site doing it. How about we get some real storylines, Carlos? Every season, you find a way to talk about Melody and Martell, mostly Melody. And this season is no different. You let Martell told him to go, well, allegedly. He goes to jail. That's not alleged, that's facts. And a whole season, they're going to be talking about Melody letting Martell go to jail. We're back to discussing Melody. We can't keep Melody out of our mouth. It's sad. Give her name a break. Jesus. But I guess when you the queen and you stand out and you're the star of the show, you can't help yourself. You can't help yourself. And I just don't understand it. But anyway, carry on. Linnell, not Nell, Linnell. And Chris Fletcher, who claim you're going to be neutral, who claim you're going to stand for both of them, you're going to ride for both of them, but you're going to say, Linnell, that Mel is wrong for having Martell arrested for his, if the charge could been on his bed bug, then she would have. But because she could not get to the bed bug who leaked that information, who told the world that it existed, she had to go to the source, the puppet master, Mr. Martell Holt. And she wrong? Say your stepdaughter put out some false information on you. Say your stepdaughter found the video of you and Chris and she decided to share it with people and tell people the things that you did freaky and nastily in your bedroom. Linnell, would you have her arrested? Remember now, she's your daughter, stepdaughter. Would you want her arrested? Don't lie. Be truthful. You're not going to handle that behind closed doors and she done put you out there on national, well, not even on national television. He didn't do it on national television, but he did it on social media. He allowed his baby mama to put it on social media, have a blogger, a content creator to air it out in her voice. So you know it's true. Because how would she know? Martell can spin that narrative. Oh, offered to send it to the content creator. I send it to you. I send it to you, and I'm sure she did. And I pray. My prayer is that the FBI track that video as far as it go and arrest all that is involved, including you, Carlos, because you asked about that video, not last season, but season before last. You asked Melody on that reunion stage, and I wish I had the video. Have she ever given a man fellatio? That means you had seen that video. Allegedly. And now you want to talk about it when we've been talking about it for 2 seasons now? Okay. Carry on. Carry on. Back to your storylines. Miss Destiny. Child. You couldn't get her to talk when she was on the show. You kick her off the show because she wouldn't tell about LeBarrett. But yet you're going to bring her back to talk about Moses, who is Sonny's husband? Make this make sense. You brought Destiny onto a show to talk about another woman's husband when she couldn't talk about her own. Child, who made you a producer? I don't understand. I really don't understand. Because if she couldn't come back to share the story about LeBarrett, she can't come back on my show and talk about nobody. Because when she came on the show, that's who she was married to. That's who we are interested in. We're not interested in Moses. We never seen her with Moses on the show, I don't believe. I think it was a social media thing. If it did, it was so quick. That's why I don't remember it. So you're going to bring her on the show to talk about a man who wasn't on the show. But a man that was on the show, you're not going to make her talk about that man. Child. Okay, carry on. Sonny and Moses. I'm really interested to not hear the story of how y'all met, but I want to see how y'all love go from where you are. It's good to see some fresh blood. It's good to see somebody on the show that's going to talk about something other than Melody and Martell. So I'm very interested to see what y'all have to bring to this new season. I really am. Now, as for the new couple, not interested. Because again, it's somebody attached to Martell's penis. Not interested. I don't even have a offer of a storyline for her and her man because it's all the same. Carlos, you have brought on almost every woman that has had something to do with Martell in Melody's face. Sheree, B. Sanders, whatever her name is. The other girl that did the wedding, I don't even know her name. Don't care nothing about these people, so I don't know their name. You have done this to take the girl in Houston. You have done all of this to try to hurt Melody. I'm going to go all the way back to my first question. Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Did she look like Melody? I'm curious because, sir, you digging too many holes and ditches and trenches and valleys and all this other stuff to get back at this lady. And all she wanted to do was put some money in your pocket because before she came on the scene, you were unemployed, alleged. You were sitting at home watching Bravo, drinking some Hennessy or Grey Goose, getting drunk with your African, alleged. She got you back on a major network, not no bootleg network, a major network, because it was her dream. Martell ain't wrote a page. He ain't had an ideal of nothing. Melody got you back on your feet, back on a major network for you to negotiate with other networks who seen your antics and kick you right on off. I'm still waiting on. I don't know what you got on them or what's going on with them, but I just don't understand. And then after you got on, she got you on a major network, you turn on her and you do everything under the sun. And I know why you're doing it, Carlos, because she's the strongest one on that show. Everybody else is weak links. They are yes man. Yes, yes, yes. And Melody will tell you, no, I ain't doing that. And you don't like that. See, everybody else on that show, they need you. Melody don't need you, and you don't like that. So you want to break her. You want to destroy her, allegedly, and in my opinion. For what? Because she not weak like the rest of them? Because you can't make her do stuff she know is not her in her character? Yeah, okay. I pray if by chance God allow you to walk up the heaven steps, that he don't send you to hell for all that you do and all that you have done to strong Black women. You came from a woman. You were made from a woman. And allegedly you want to be one. But yet you try to destroy each and every one on a show. You want to paint them in a negative light. You want to make them, you want to let the man dominate them and mistreat them and talk bad to them. And it's, yes, honey, it's hot. It's on fire. It's, boy, bye. And I don't understand these piss drops that's following you. I don't get it. But I guess, hey, God said he watch out for babies and fools. You falling under one of them. That's for real. Melody, this is for you, sis. I love you with all my heart and soul. You have motivated and created a community of nothing but great standards and love. No matter how people try to paint the millimeters to be bad people, it's not the millimeters. It's people who are pretending to be millimeters to give the millimeters a bad name. What you have created is amazing. It is a sisterhood. It is a brotherhood. It is a community. It is a family. And it is nothing Carlos, Marcel, Maurice, Kimmy, Letitia, Martell, Nell, Chris, Destiny, none of them has done what you have done. And they can't do what you do, which is why you're a public enemy number one. But guess what, sis? Love and Marriage Huntsville is the table prepared in the presence of your enemies, and you treat it as such. You go in there, you sit at that table, and you eat. You eat by still working with Jay Bolin. You eat because you still have a network, Nubian TV. You eat because you still have Seventh Avenue Beauty. You eat because you still have master class with Melody. You eat because you still have your property preservation teaching class. And all of them over there, you know what they doing? Watching you eat. They're watching you eat. And let me tell you about the thing of people watching you. They will watch you with envy, jealousy, and hatred for so long that they'll begin to mimic you. And they'll begin to copy you. And they'll begin to start advancing because of you. And guess what, sis? They're not going to thank you. They're not going to appreciate it. And they dang sure ain't going to give you credit for it. But God will. God definitely will. Because from season 1, Letitia was a housewife in there making lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a man who was, never mind. Anywho. Kimmy was what? I don't even know. Destiny was what? Faking the funk in a big old shop that nobody shopped in? Oh, okay. Since you were running around building, you were well loved in the community. All of that. All of that. Now look at them. Because they've watched you for so long to the point they don't even realize it. They're mimicking you. And I just want you to hold your head up high, very high, because you did that. You did that. And you didn't have to slang mud. You didn't have to come on and do no cat fighting. You didn't have to come on and do none of that. You didn't have to hang out with the enemies. You didn't have to bring their past and their enemies on the show. You didn't have to team up against nobody. You didn't have to do none of that. And God has made a man. Can I tell you, you got an amazing table? Child, look. I wish I had an opportunity to sit at your table. Child. But it's all good though. It's all good. They'll get it one day. One day when this ends and they think they can carry it, it'll be just like Real Housewives of Atlanta right now. They can't even find nobody to cast on the show. Because ain't nobody gonna want to be involved with that mess. I'm telling you. So in the meantime and in between time, sis, I hope you know that your fan base love you, and it ain't nothing Carlos, Martell, and nobody else can stay on Love and Marriage Huntsville that's gonna make us turn on you. Because we all know that it is nothing but BS. We all know that they just want you to be off that show so they can bring that tramp on and she can make them all look bad and expose all of them. So, sis, I know you don't want her on there, but she might be the one that take all of them to the grave because she know all of their secrets. And once she get on there, she gonna show all of them her butt, and she gonna air them all out. I'm telling you. She might needs to be on that show because I really believe she will air them out, all of them. But anywho, yeah, Carlos, I'm gonna need you to go get some therapy. I'm gonna need you to go lay on a couch. I'm gonna need you to go and get some help so you can stop trying to be a woman and yet dogging out women. Cause I don't understand. I really don't get it. But each to his own, girl. Do you? I have this one last picture that I want to talk about. Even when Carlos brought Sheree on the show, I was always wondering why. Why would Sheree come on the show knowing that her and Martell really not together? And I just been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And it comes back to the same thing. He was trying to hurt Melody. You were trying to hurt Melody. You and Sheree been friends for a long time. And I'm gonna explain something to you. You're really not a friend. You're really not. And Sheree, girl, if you ever get a hold of this video, I really and truly hope you sit back and go over things in your life and understand that Carlos is not your friend. Because he brought you on a show, on his show, used you to make a man's ex-wife jealous, knowing that she had a strong fan base that would come after you and tear you up from upside down, any which way but loose. And yet he still subjected you to that. No friend that loves you will put you through any hurt or pain, no matter who he's trying to hurt. He wouldn't want to hurt his real friend. He wouldn't want to hurt his real friend. And as much as you try to act like coming on that show, having Martell not even act like he acknowledged you, that hurt you. It put you back at that table on that phone waiting on Tyrone. I'm sorry. I love Chuck. It put you back at the table. And if that was your real friend, he wouldn't have done you like that because he seen you were hurt. You were crying because Tyrone didn't show up, right? Your friend seen that. And yet he put you on his show to generate ratings, knowing that people would tear you apart, knowing that one day it's a possibility it could be exposed that it was fake. And yet your friend subjected you to that. And that's another reason he probably mad at Melody. Because Melody put it out there that it was fake. And anybody that can go to Madison County Court and get those transcripts can see Martell said that was a business arrangement. So why would he do his friend like that if he's your friend? That's not a friend. That's a foe, a fool that used you. You're better than that. At least I hope you think enough of yourself to think you're better than that. Carlos, you need to go get some help for real. Because here it is, you done lost Bad and Bougie. You done lost Love and Marriage DC, just about. And it might be you're going to lose some other shows because people sick of your narrative. They're sick of you belittling and treating women the way you do on these reality shows. If you're not going to show these people real lives and you're not going to be unbiased, then don't do it at all. Don't do it at all. Because these are people real lives. They don't need you playing, they don't need you playing with their lives. This life be life and as is. And you over here playing with it? Expose yourself. Get your little cute self in front of the camera, sashaying. Expose your African boyfriend. Do that if you want to expose somebody. But quit playing with these people real lives. Unless you want to really show their real lives. Don't be faking it. You fake it for some, but you want to show others real life. No, come on, dude. That ain't cool. But I'm gonna get off you because I've dedicated 46 minutes of talking about you. And that's about all you will ever get from me ever again in life. Because I don't like you. And I'm gonna stand on that. I don't like you. I don't like who you stand for, what you stand for, none of that. I don't like you. And I never will. Because how you have treated women. And they have forgiven you. And that's good. I ain't there yet. I love the Lord. And no one sin is greater than the other. So my one sin is not liking you. And that's the truth. I don't like you. I don't like how you do people. You did Nene so wrong. And that's my big sis. Shout out to you, Nene. That's my big sis. She will always be my big sis. But you did her wrong. And then you got back in her life, brought her onto your little closet podcast. Then she showed you how to elevate your game by sitting down on a couch hosting interviews after you dogged her the way you did on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then you talked about her. You have even said it recently. Some people would think that Melody got the big head like Nene. And yet she still forgave you. Sat on your podcast and gave you some nuggets to make money off of. And yet you still mistreat Black women who help you. Negro, please. You're sad. You're sad, Carlos. You are very, very sad. And the way you're showing the world you are, I wouldn't be surprised if nobody would ever want to work with you again. Because that's wrong. You have stood on the back of women and allowed their husbands, their significant others, to dog them out. And yet they'll come back years later and forgive you and help you. And yet you're doing it again to other women instead of learning from your mistakes. That's all I got. Y'all, please go like, subscribe, and share this video. Leave comments in the comments section. Give me some tips on what I could do better. Carlos, I pray somebody put this in your inbox, and I would love for you to respond. I ain't afraid, and look, Nothing you could say to me will hurt my feelings. And I could tell you my life story and you could throw it back in my face and it still wouldn't hurt my feelings because I'm not a low down, dirty, good for nothing dog like you. Good night.